All right, folks, we've got a treat for you right here. This is something that came in from one of our consigners. I love bootlegs, especially the crazier the better. And this isn't the craziest, but I love these and nonetheless. We could not find enough information on who and where these came from, but we've got some for you. This is Stormtrooper, and he is on some crazy equipment. This is the Deluxe Crowd Control Stormtrooper. Yes? Yeah. How is he controlling that crowd? I don't know. He's on a Power of the Force card with Shadows of the Empire artwork on the back. These came in through Britain. We have reason to believe that they were released also in China and in Europe. Some indication that it might have been through South America, but for this particular one came up, says made in China, but of course that's the original card art. That these came in through UK markets. Obviously, these were imported to Cashmark, kind of like our dollar stores here get all kind of knockoffs all the time. We imagine it was the same. They're roughly the same size. Sometimes there's some variations. We can't tell if these were original molds or if these were and just knocked off. But if you look, there's a little bit less detail. So I suspect these were molds made from an original and then re-engineered, backwards engineered to do that. So let's jump into the actual condition of the thing itself. It's crappy. It's what you'd expect from a knockoff, a bootleg. For whatever reason, these came in often with these little, what do you call them, paper clips on them, with the hang tag. Why? I don't know. Maybe you can imagine that it's unpunched. I'll tell you right now, if this were an original, that might matter, although I'm not sure what that is doing there between rust and bending. But it's something interesting. We left it there. It's part of the provenance of this figure. You get this and you toss it, that's great. If you're a bootleg collector and you like these sort of things, great. It's got some shelf schmutz on it there, a little bit of dust on it. It is sealed on the card. Now, the card itself has some bashed in a little bit. Not badly, but a little bit on the corner there, and it is cracked just slightly. Surprisingly, let's look at the bottom here. Fairly clear for these cards. You'd expect that they'd be yellowed by now. These came out, near as we can tell, again in the early 90s, and it does have this interesting equipment that came with it, the what they're calling riot control or crowd control. So all around a pretty neat piece. We're going to show you that one first, and then we're going to jump right into the next one, which is Luke Skywalker. And what is that piece called? It's his Desert Sport Skiff. So some crazy stuff right here. For those of you who like stuff that's a little bit different, a little bit interesting, well, here you go. This is some neat stuff for you. Some damage again to the bubble, but the bubble is still on there. It's nice and tight on that side. It's coming loose on this side, but it's still on there. Surprisingly, so it's never been removed from the card. I was never a big fan of that particular mold of Luke, and he's kind of the Wundar of Luke's. He's got that darker brown hair. So he's sort of the Wonder Bread Luke, is what I'm going to call him right now. I'm sure he's got other names. I'm sure there's a specific term for that. But I'm calling him Wonder Bread Luke. You heard it here first. And then it was crushed. So probably, if I had to take a guess, something heavy fell on it a little bit like this. Lifted it up from that side, crushed that. But not the worst. And again, surprisingly not yellow. So some pretty neat stuff right here. If you are a bootleg person, you will love this. It's a little bit bent there, and again, paper clipped a hang tag. Why? I don't know. We'll throw it over on the other side, and you can see these are all the Han Solo cards. From the same collection, we got some scuffing right there. We got ones that were individual carded figures, all with the Farm Boy Luke card. So that's what these bootleggers seem to have done. So if you like that sort of thing, there you go. We'll bring out another one. We just saw Han Solo. We'll bring up the actual Han Solo card. And this comes with his, what are they calling that? That is his Smuggler Flight Pack. Could be worse. Could be that smuggler flight pack that he takes to the beach with him. So some bending of the card right here, as you can see. You can definitely see it right there. That's the best way to see that bending. So there's the bending of the card. This is a pretty good card. Not much, hasn't gotten smashed or cracked or broken. A little bit right there. A little bit right there on the corner. Still dusty, like a lot of these. Still has that, a hang tag. Just paper clip to it for some reason, and that's fine if that's what you like. If you really want to put it back to its former glory, but all around pretty neat. Now, surprisingly, I actually kind of like this this Han. He's a little bit bigger. Let's show you that size marker on him. He seems just a little bit bigger. Part of that is just these molds from the Power of the Force and the Shadow of the Empire line. They got kind of wonky in there. I will point out also one of the reasons we think that this might have been an actual Han that the bootleggers made new molds out of is because you don't see any articulation at the elbows, and I can't tell if there's any at the knees, but I suspect there isn't. A lot like, if you recall, the old Pepsodent Fun School G.I. Joes, kind of like that. So, not really a lot of play value or action value in there, but nice collectible stuff, especially for you folks that like to have something that nobody else has in their collection. This is it. And then finally, we'll throw this one right here. This is the Swoop with his Swoop bike. I like the color scheme on this. I really like what they did. They kind of cheapened out on the paint job and on the color, and that's fine. That's how Snake Eyes came to be. Was by cheapening out on that color, and here's the results. Again, no articulation there. We'll show you the size marker on that a little bit. So you can see roughly what it is. You got all of this going on right here. Paperclip hang tag for some reason again, but there it is. We'll show you all the way around the card. Now this one actually looks to me like it might be starting the yellowing process. It's not there yet. It won't be, I think, for a while, but it's starting. And even though this is a larger bubble, surprisingly, this has the least damage. So slight crush wear right there, which you can probably pop out with your fingers. And some right there. I thought it might have been cracked, but it's not. Let's look at the card. Wow, surprisingly straight card. This is a nice Swoop. Huh. And you got, of course, the Swoop Trooper. Go with it. So all around some pretty cool stuff. Can you see that Swoop Trooper? I like him. He's a neat figure. Let's zoom in. I don't know. Something about him reminds me of the G.I. Joe Ferret Trooper. So there you go. So you've got this. I don't think we're going to be able to fit them all in one shot. You've got the Han Solo. We're going to make all of these available as separate lots for you. You got the Stormtrooper, and you got that Luke. Wonder Bread Luke. You heard it here first. And there you go. So, best we can do is a representation of all four of them. You're going to head on over to TheBigToyAuction.com where you can see all of these. You can bid on each one separately or as a large group. We'll offer them up as choice. You can bid on it right here and now. If that's what you like to do, that's fantastic. We're happy to have you do that. Or you can join us live on auction day. That's what we like even better. We love to see your smiling faces. We love to see everybody there having fun and defending your collection, because it's going to be yours. It's going to go into your collection against everybody else trying to steal it away from you. So head on over to TheBigToyAuction.com. Whether you like to leave those bids right now or you like to come back later, we look forward to seeing you at the auction.